In this section, we are going to see how to deal with videos. Working on videos is almost similar to working on images. The only difference between video and images is in videos you have the flood of images. That's the only difference you have. So now let's see how to load a video, and also we'll see how to access our web camera and do some analytics. At the moment, what I'm going to do is that in my data, I'm having the video clip is there, which is clip.mp4. Now let's see how to load this video. Open your Jupyter notebook. Now what you have to do is that just import all the dependency libraries that was required, which is import numpy as np and also import cv2. So these are the two important libraries that was actually important for me. Now in order to start doing the video capture, that is start loading our video, what we have to do is that just like the cv2.mread, which will actually read the static images, and in order to read the dynamic images, nothing but videos, we have cv2.videoCapture. Let me use that. So this is my cap is equal to cv2.videoCapture, and here I just want to provide the path or indexing. Let me talk about the index later on. So we can also give the path of the video clip, just like the how you load an image. Since my video is there in my data folder and the name of the clip is clip.mp4. Alright, now since I know that like video is a flood of images and I just want to display each and every frame, so that's the reason I'm going to work on while loop, which is an infinite loop here. And we have the two arguments for this cap. One is my return, and let me name it as ret, and second one is frame, and that's going to be equal to cap.read. So what I'm trying to read is that, like, if at all I just want to read this cap.read, you have the return and the frame. Return will say that whether you can able to read this image or not. For example, if you read the image and the video is done, means it's end of the video, then the return will get false. You can also get the false when this clip is not at all available. So either of the case, I just want to run the loop. So in that case, I just want to exit the loop. So let me mention like if ret equal to false, means it could be the end of the video or the video is not available, then I just want to break the loop. Else, then what I need to do is that I just want to display the image. We know how to display the image, which is nothing but cv2.mshow, and here my win name is, let me mention it is a video, and mat is nothing but frame. That's it. Now the next step, what I want to do is that I just want to provide the delay, right? Now this is very key in while working on the video capture. We need to specify the delay here, and what is a right appropriate delay is, so depends upon the clip, and we need to find out the right appropriate delay. At the moment, what I will do is that let me set my wait key, cv2.wait key to 1, means I just want to wait for 1 millisecond. Then immediately after that, I will again show one more frame to it. And if at all user want to close this video, and we can also provide some kind of a keyboard button, which is nothing but ORD, and using this Python function ORD, and we can mention like, for example, user press a button Q, and what we have to do is that that window has to be closed. That's what I just want to mention here. And let's say if user press the button Q, then I just want to break the loop, and then once I break the loop, then cap.release, then now cv2.destroy all the windows, means I just want to close all the windows that was having with me. So that's it. So this is what the code for the video capture means in order to display the videos. Let me execute it. Alright, this is cool, right? You can see that we can able to load the video, but the problem is frames per second. incredibly very fast pace, right? This is actually because of this cv2.waitKey. Here basically what we need to do is that we need to specify the right delay. Otherwise, this is what is going to happen here. Okay, how to fix this? The meaning of the cv2.waitKey is that I'm going to wait for 1 millisecond. And after that, I just want to run another frame, right? So if at all you want to think in that way, basically this is going to be run in 1,000 frames per second. Generally, any videos you take, it will be, most of the cases could be 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second. That could be very low here, but here you are running the video at 1,000 frames per second ideally, but it depends upon the computer to computer. You can see like could be 800, 900 frames per second. Let me calculate the frames per second here. So in order to calculate the frames per second, we have a module called time. Using the time, I will calculate the frames per second. So let me take import time. This module time will give you the time taken to execute this entire code in seconds. Okay, so I just want to start the time in the start of the loop. Means this is what I just want to start. So this is what my start time equal to time dot time. So with that I can be able to get the start time. This is my start time. Now let me calculate the time taken. Time taken is basically the time taken to run this entire program. So what I'm going to do is that let me take the time taken is actually equal to time dot time is actually the current time minus start time. So with that, what we can do is that we can able to get the time taken. Means this is my time taken in seconds. So now if at all you want to calculate the frames per second, that is FPS, is going to be equal to in 1 second divided by the time taken, which is actually the frames per second. That's it, right? This is really cool. Now what I will do is that I just want to show this frames per second in the video itself. So that what I have to do is that I just want to mention, let me do one thing, let me make it the frames per second is equal to 0 at the time being. Now here let me put text. Using the put text, let me put into the video itself, which is nothing but my image. To which image I want to apply is frame, and the text I just want to do here is this is my FPS, and that's going to be equal to, let me put the colon, and I just want to insert the integer values. So this is what my colon and dot 0f, and with that I can able to get my integer value. And let me use the format and let me dynamically insert the values FPS. That's it. Next is font face. Oh, origin. And the origin, let me put something like some 30 comma 20. And now the font scale is cv2 dot font, and let me use simplex. The next is font scale, let me use 1.5, and the color, let me use white color 255 255 255, and with that I can able to get the white color. Then the thickness is equal to 1. So with that I can able to get all the values, and I can put all the values inside my frames per second. Now let's execute it. And here you go. What you can see is that our video is running nearly at 300 to 500 frames per second, right? And it is not that clearly visible. Let me do one thing. Let me bring my Y position. So this is my X position, and the Y position is, let me take to 40. And yes, this is clear. Now you can see my FPS is nearly running at 500 to 300 frames per second. Now in order to control the frames per second, what we need to do is that we need to set the wait key and provide the delay with some value. And the meaning for this is actually we are giving the wait key of 1 milliseconds. Means after 1 millisecond we have to display one more thing. So ideally you are running at 1000 frames per second. In order to run this at 24 frames per second, what we have to do is that simply take the 1000 divided by the number of frames you want. Let's say if at all you want to run nearly at 24 frames per second and divide by 24, and what you can get here is that 41. So if you put your wait key to 41 here, then this entire video will run nearly at 24 frames per second. I'm not say exactly 24 frames. It will be less than 24 frames, something like 20, 21 or something like this. Now let me execute that and let's test it. Execute it. And here you go. Now we can see that we can able to bring with a nice thing, like my video is now running at 22 and 21 frames per second. That's really cool, right? This is how we can load video and display video and control the frames per second. Cool, right? I will see you in the next lecture more on this. Until then, happy learning.